Good morning, my name is Jodi. Being an introvert, I have always been most comfortable hanging out with books and animals more than people. About 4 years ago, I began a journey that has forever changed me. I came to Faith Covenant Church searching for something, not really sure what. The longer I attended here at Faith, the more I felt a gentle nudge to get involved. This nudge surprisingly led me, an introvert, to sign up for some groups here at Faith. I joined community Bible study on Monday nights. I joined the Alpha class on Wednesday nights, and I attended Sunday morning classes, all of which were way outside my comfort zone. I attended all these classes because I was on a search to discover my identity, my purpose, and who I really was. Ironically, at the same time, I was diving deeper into my hobby of researching my family heritage on Ancestry.com. Through an ancestry DNA test, I discovered some shocking news. My dad of 50 plus years was not actually my biological dad. Not something I would ever have imagined finding out. How could this be true? I suddenly didn't know who I was or what to do. I did not know how to process this new information. But God sure did, and He had a plan. God was starting a renovation in me. The next 3 years, God was busy not only renovating me, but He did a complete remodel. God reminded me over and over that He was crazy in love with me and that He was my true Father. I was not an accident, I was not abandoned, and I was not alone. He was always with me. God blessed me by bringing Jill Kindall alongside me on this journey, who has become a dear friend and mentor. God knew I needed someone I felt safe with and could trust. Because I've lived in a survival mode of sorts and had built up some big walls around myself and my heart, this was a huge step. Jill and I began meeting to go through a book called Fully Alive by Susie Larson. We would often have great discussions focusing on God's promises, His goodness, and His faithfulness. When we finished that book, we went on to another called Your Powerful Prayers, and it was here I truly discovered the Bible's truth. God loves me and treasures me. I was finally starting to get it. Part of this journey started with a search for who I thought I was and who I came from on Ancestry.com. But you see, God had a much bigger and better plan. He was drawing me into a deeper relationship with Him. God wasn't done yet, and He knew just how to do it. I've always had this connection to animals, and God has used them to comfort me during times of stress or worry or just processing. The Bible tells us God speaks to us through His creation and creatures. He sure has to me. One afternoon, while I was working on my Bible study lesson, He brought a big snapping turtle to my backyard. I remember seeing her with crusty eyes and some bugs on her, so I rinsed her off to clean her up and kept an eye on her that day. Later that day, she came back and was scratching at my screen door like she wanted to come in, so I sat at the door with her for a while. It was so peaceful. I needed some peace and reassurance that day, and God brought it to me through some time with a turtle. God knows how much I love chickadees, such a cute, cheerful, and vocal little creature. One cold winter afternoon while working on a Bible study, I happened to look up and see a little chickadee lying on the ground right outside my patio door. I hadn't heard her hit the door, but she must have. I went out to get her and was sure she was dead. I held her in my hands to try warming her up. After a bit, she suddenly started moving around. She was getting too warm though, so I went back outside with her and just held her for a bit in my hand until she was able to get up. Eventually, she flew to a low branch right next to me. She wasn't ready yet though, so I sat with her a little longer. When she was ready, she flew off. What an amazing experience with one of God's creatures. I may have felt helpless on some of this journey, but just like that little chickadee, God has given me new life in Him and been with me, caring for me the whole time. Then one night, during community Bible study, the teacher was talking about new creation and God. At home, after class, I noticed my leopard gecko was shedding his skin for the first time. I was fascinated. I'm easily distracted by God's creations, and it hit me. God was helping me shed all the old stuff, thoughts, feelings, fears, and was making me a new skin too, a new life in Him. God was shedding my identity and giving me a new one. God wanted my whole heart and my heart whole, and knew just how to get it. The biggest part of this journey has been my deep understanding and peace in knowing I am a child of God, and He is crazy in love with me. This new life feels pretty amazing.